What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. This is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Hollywood's biggest and strongest A-lister. This is Kevin Hart, a smaller, less strong A-lister. This is a VIVO X300 Ultra, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This is the VIVO X300 FE, Kevin Hart. That's where the analogy stops, don't worry, but let's go. So yes, if you have been watching my channel recently, you will know that I have been waxing lyrical about the VIVO X300 Ultra. It is my favourite candy bar smartphone of all time. And yes, when the X400 Ultra comes out next year, that'll probably take its place. However, the Ultra version of any phone is always the most expensive. The VIVO X300 FE is what happens when you condense all of those Ultra specifications into a less Ultra price point. In this video, I'm going to talk through the specifications, give you my short time using it, because as much as I've had this in my possession for a few weeks, I've been using the Ultra daily. But I do want to give you my thoughts. And then ultimately, you can then decide, is the FE for you, or are you an Ultra kind of person? Now, we have to talk price first, because that'll give us context going into the rest of the video. And of course, I'll give you pricing from my store, the Average Dad Tech Store. The link is in the description. We offer the best service and experience you're going to get from any import store, because we're not drop shipping. We have the stock. We have warehouses in Hong Kong, China, Europe, and the Middle East. With that being said, the X300 Ultra Global Edition, because the FE only comes in a global edition, the X300 Ultra is £1,399 for the half terabyte. For over £400 cheaper, you can pick up the global version half terabyte VIVO X300 FE. So there's the price difference. Now let's talk about the specs that are different between an Ultra Full Buna and the FE. First of all, let's talk about the chipset. Inside, you have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5. No, not the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, just the standard 8 Gen 5. Qualcomm, shout out to you for making this as confusing as fuck, because they're both built on a 3nm processor. Essentially, the 8 Gen 5 chip is slightly cheaper for manufacturers because they've removed a performance core or two, but in my use case scenario with the FE and other devices with the 8 Gen 5 chip, you're not going to notice. It's going to absolutely crush any game from the Play Store. Where you might start to notice a slight difference between the 8 Gen 5 and the 8 Elite Gen 5 is through emulation, like GTA 5 if you can get hold of that, or other games that you're emulating. But I ain't that guy. So if you are that guy, then you're going to have to go for the Ultra Full Buna one with all the performance and GPU cores that you're going to need. But for 99.9% of us, the 8 Gen 5 is pretty goddamn good. Now, in terms of battery, it's 6,500 milliamp hours, only 100 milliamp hours less than the Ultra, but paired with a less power-hungry chipset, a 6.3-inch Full HD Plus resolution panel compared to the 6.8-inch Quad HD panel on the Ultra, you are absolutely 100% good for 2 full days of moderate to heavy usage. I give you my word, my guarantee. This battery with that chipset will last you 2 days, almost no matter what. And you will have noticed I threw in there that the display is smaller. The form factor of this device is smaller, which a lot of people are asking for. People love the specifications of an Ultra device, but they don't like the reality of how big an Ultra device is. The fact that the FE can pack in flagship specs into a 6.3 inch, really thin form factor may just appeal to a lot of you. Now, while they are all downgrades over the flagship Ultra device, the speakers on this sound pretty goddamn good. Have a listen for yourself, I'll be quick. So we've talked about the battery and display and the speakers. Hardware-wise, it's obviously important that we talk about the cameras, and there is no getting around it. The biggest gap between the FE and the Ultra device is the camera system. But we shouldn't compare the FE to an Ultra device. We should compare the FE to the Samsung FE, the S25 FE. I believe the S26 FE might be out now or out soon. And I can guarantee you the triple camera setup on this Vivo is better than any other FE device out there. It's a 50 megapixel main, a 50 megapixel telephoto with a 3x optical zoom, and it's 8 megapixel ultra wide. Now yes, that is pretty horrific in 2026. 8 megapixels, I'm not sure why they've done this, because shoving a 12 megapixel or even 50 megapixel ultra wide wouldn't have cost them too much more per unit. Here you can see examples of all three cameras. They're pretty goddamn good. And I was pleasantly surprised by the zoom level from this 50 megapixel telephoto lens. It's a 1/1.95 inch sensor, so it is considerably smaller than any flagship telephoto lens, but with the post-processing, which yes, all phones have and do, outputs are bloody good. Now, for those wondering, it's a global Vivo, which in 2026 means Origin OS. Yes, the software skin is Origin OS, and for me, it's just fantastic. From customization to transitions, everything's where it should be. There's no searching manically for a setting that shouldn't be named under a certain label. It's all pretty clean. And as I've said many times before, ColorOS is maybe my favourite. That or One UI from Samsung, but Origin OS is right up there, folks. And because it's global, there's Android Auto, there's eSIM capability, there's Wear OS connectivity. From a features and software point of view, you can go no wrong with the FE. So now that we know the specifications, as mentioned at the start of the video, it's the Kevin Hart to the Rock. That's what this phone is. Doesn't make it a bad thing, just makes it more affordable thing. But for my experience, for my use case, you know what I'm going to say. I need a flagship camera setup. I absolutely love the VIVO X300 camera setup, and I would not sacrifice that for anything these days, or any phone these days. So the FE is not for me. I am also partially sighted, so a smaller display, unfortunately, is never going to be for me. I am that guy, if they brought out a 7.2 inch display, I'd buy that phone. I actually am advocating for Vivo and Oppo to make a large, ultra-sized tablet / foldable phone, because that's what I need for my use case scenario. In terms of everything else though, for my use case, the chipset, the speakers, the battery, the software, A+. Absolutely no qualms with it whatsoever. And as mentioned earlier, because the price point is far lower than Ultra, it's more appealing to a lot of people. Now, I'll be back soon with the big one. This weekend, Sunday, 7 PM, the Oppo X9 Ultra versus the VIVO X300 Ultra. If you have not already, please smash subscribe to the channel. I'm like 3,300 subs away from the magical 100k. We can do this. Can we try and do it by the end of June, perhaps? Until next time,